time for me to take a stand. And if it is, God bless you, because we need you. As I fight my way to the state capitol, I'm going to need you to help me push forward some of this. But right now is where it starts. Please take a minute and talk to Brian. Please take a minute and talk to Woody. These guys are the ones that can get us from point A to point B. So that's all I'd like to say tonight, but this is it, guys. This is our time. It's either now or never.
Curiosity factor of a people's person. If anybody else has any statements or questions or comments, there's a guy right there, somebody right there.
I just have a comment. I just got here. My name is George Winfrey. I'm a homeless veteran, and I've been going through the homeless situation here in Phoenix. I was in CAS for about a month and a half, and I left because I got ate with bed bugs. And I was sent to the VA hospital, treated for 2 weeks. And what I can say about the nutrition at homeless shelters, at churches, are horrendous. They're not nutritious. They're not healthy. People come in homeless shelters beat up, tired from being eating to eat. They give them a lot of starch. They give them things that are not healthy for them. Also, what I find out is, even when, when we have things like this, it's so important that information is given to the homeless, how to take care of themselves, what the proper food is. I'm glad that this forum, I'm sorry I got here late because I was working for a vendor who offered me some work today. But I'm very glad this forum was involved. Michelle knows I get exposure to lots of people. I have no problem getting involved. Give me some flyers, give me some information. I'll go on the internet. I'll go from one side of the city to the other side of the city. Because the thing is, information is power. If you don't inform people, they can't change their actions and their attitudes and the things that they need to do.
Can I just give a,
sure.
He brought up one important point. The homeless and the caste situation, and I'm not going to dwell there, but it is our most vulnerable citizens that get exposed to these genetically altered foods. When you go to stores such as Food City, stores such as, okay, I won't name, that's wrong. Okay, Circle K, but I'm not naming names. I'm not naming names. But when you go to those stores, those are the ones that buy cheap and sell high. Yep. Because those are the individuals, they cater to individuals that do not have access to the education that we're talking about, that do not have access to the ideas of reading labels and making sure that they're buying what's most valuable to their bodies. And a lot of times, substandard diets are given to our most vulnerable citizens. So I ask you, once again, spread the word. Because he is correct. Yes, ma'am.
I just want to say that I know what you're talking about. I was homeless for about a year. I was searching for stuff. I lost my job. And I've already stayed for a little over a year now, almost 2 years. And the thing I've learned out of that is that your nutrition value goes down. Because when you live on food stamps or unemployment, you can only eat so much. You're asking the food, you're actually gain weight. Because when you get to eat, you don't afford yourself. You're starving for nutrition. But you can eat because you're not getting the nutritional value. So then you're perpetuating the problem of poverty. Because you're so exhausted working the system, so exhausted trying to just live and survive, that it just perpetuates itself. And everybody complains about homeless, they complain about poverty, how bad it is, what abusive these people are because we're so obese. But that's why. Because we're being fed this toxic food that we're getting no health to get back on our feet. So that's one reason I write down for that effect. And I focus on the word and that's what I think. So I'm going to be
Thank you for sharing that. Ladies and gentlemen, understanding where you are, and I'm right there too. Yes, ma'am.
In regard to what she was saying when you just spoke and the gentleman over there, I was in a soup kitchen decades ago, and I'm sure there are many people here that either work in a soup kitchen or in a soup kitchen. But I'm looking at the other side of the soup kitchen right now, or know someone who does. And when I started working in a soup kitchen about 30 years ago, I called them and asked, we don't have much protein. There's jars and jars of peanut butter. Please ask people to donate cans of meat. And she got very uppity with me and said they're lucky to eat. And I said, excuse me, but homeless people have pride too.
Yes.
And I was
Yes, we do.
astounded to see it actually change. And then when I started working there, I would go in and say, okay, let's see, protein, grain, dairy, we need some fruit. So I would always do the 5 categories, vegetables and fruit for the last 2 weeks.
Right.
And they changed their policy. So we can make a difference. We can make a difference. So you're put your 2 cents in and stand up for the homeless.
We can make a difference.
I have a question for you, Connie. You're mentioning you're going to do something about genetic engineering. You mentioned you're going to do something about genetic engineering in Arizona if you get elected. What exactly is your plan?
Okay, good. Thank you. Well, let me just share before I go into the plan. I used to be the director of Arizona Consumers Council, but conservation districts. Does anybody know what conservation districts are? Anybody? Farmers, ranchers, and basically large owners that deal with production, agricultural production. They're a big supporter of 4-H. So I used to work with a lot of farmers and ranchers, and I still have some good connections there. The idea is not to fight the giant. The idea is to make a stance where we can. What we can control. It's like that serenity prayer. You need the gift to know what I can change and the wisdom to know the difference. What we can change right here and right now is labor. We can go right down to that capital and say, we want labels. There is an agricultural committee that deals with food and fiber. There is an agricultural committee that sits there and talks about agricultural issues. The Farm Bureau, they talk about agricultural issues. They would take a stance on this. Because once we start dipping into people's jobs, the tax rates that come in, these are the things that affect us at home. Remember at the beginning when I said, politics, even though we're seeing this around the country, around the world, but politics starts at home? That's when we need to step. We need to take a stand and say, yes, we want labels. But secondly, just like what happened, I don't know if it was Wisconsin, but another state, Nebraska, they said, we do not feel corporations are in business. And we don't want corporations owning our farmland. That should be a family, a heritage. That should come from a community perspective. Because what are we doing? Our farmers and our ranchers are serving our community. And basically Arizona was built upon ranching, farming, and of course mining. But basically we are a ranching and farming state. We need to bring it back. So no, I can't go out and fight the big giants, and I don't expect to. But what I can do is start the conversation, start making a stand, and then with your help, demand a change. Little things, labeling. That's not something that makes. Oh, it's going to cost us this. Oh, it's against the Constitution. No, it's a demand because we are the people, and we need to know what we're consuming. No one can change that. So thank you. Guys, this is a beginning. This is a baby step. We have to, first of all, say what we want. I'm throwing out ideas, but I'd like to
from Whole Foods, a lot of it. So, we didn't have as much discussion of what we were giving them, so I think a way to address concerns about it only being carbohydrates and nutritious food is to explain to places like Whole Foods that donate the food, this is what we need, this is what we're trying, this is the percentage that we need, and they're actually very receptive. We talk to like their manager or the local leadership, so that's one thing that I would suggest, is informing them. Most others don't always have control over what they provide.
Thank you, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I have one thing to say. We all have the power to put in our bodies what we want to put in our bodies. There are soil, there are water, and there are seeds. We all have a place to grow our own food. It's the best form of protest to anything, to the government, to Monsanto, to whatever it is that you want to do. You're bringing your own responsibility to your own body, taking the money out of the corporations, putting their money back in your pocket. You can grow and share with your neighbor. You grow zucchini, you grow tomatoes, you gotta share and it's salad. I mean, that's there's different organizations out there. We have garden groups, we have skating program, there's several groups out there. But most importantly, I have Michelle that gives seeds out to homeless people, and they grow them on their carts. It's not hard to grow your own food.
It's awesome. And you know what, that is something, that's another idea about economic power. We have economic power to choose where we put our money and how we invest it. It's beautiful, that is a wonderful idea. But not only that, I want to take a moment to promote community gardens. Guys, community gardens make a difference, not only financially, but it also engages the community. So, I mean, you grow so many ways in community gardens. Oh, yes, yes, okay, I got you. I got it.
I just want to say that one person can't make a difference. Every person can make a difference. You are a power unto yourself. Next.
We got 3 people here. You raised your hand, she raised her hand, and you raised the same.
Oh.
I see that. They're raising hand. I just like to.
Love creates our own food. That's a wonderful idea. When I go to Home Depot, I guess I buy a can of little. We have to be careful about all the sources of seed.
Yes.
That we use.
Yes, and you do have to look over there, and there are different sources out there. There are many sources out there as far as non-GMO seeds go. If you're an educated consumer, just do your research on the brands that you're going to grow. A lot of times they'll say directly on their non-GMO or heirloom seeds. Heirloom seeds will be non-organic, non-organic. It's just online.
Yeah, and all this is online, so we definitely, yes, good point. Please watch out. Yes, sir.
I think I was
She was here.
There's another.
Okay.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I think what people are saying about growing community gardens and growing your own food and making responsible choices as consumers are good ideas, and I support that, but also that's not a choice everybody does have. Some
Right.
people live in apartments, some people don't have the income or the time to do that or afford foods that aren't GMO or are organic. And then, so it's just, it brings up a broader, question of where this certain struggle in